Howdy folks, and welcome to my review of the AltRider Oil Cooler Guard, Radiator Guard, and Cylinder Head Guard for the Ducati Multistrada 2010 to 2014 model. My bike is a 2014 Ducati 1200S GranTurismo, and these oil cooler, radiator, and head guards are awesome. Strongly recommend to anybody looking for additional protection for their bike. They not only look OEM, even add a little more of a adventurous look to the bike. They perform flawlessly. Great product, great craftsmanship. The fit is impeccable. They fit right on. They're well thought out. They actually create a little gap between the guard and the actual radiator piece on both the oil cooler and the radiator. So if you have a bigger rock that comes in or something heavy hits it, even if it bends the guard just a tad, which is a very thick material, so I doubt it, but just in case if it does, there's still a gap of protection, so it will not damage the radiator that's behind it. Really well thought out. The other thing that's really well thought out on it is that the radiator guard comes with a lip that protects the bottom of the radiator. So while there's a 1 in a million chance to actually hurt the bottom of the radiator on this bike, if it happens, and it happens, hours away from civilization, you're stuck. Well, with this, you actually have the radiator protected from the bottom, so that's really good. As you can tell, the guard does a really good job preventing even splashes that come up and any rocks that might come up. I'm running the factory extended fender, and you still see these splashes coming up, so there potentially might be rocks and everything else coming up. So they protect really well in terms of the radiator. They integrate really well with each other. This is the head guard piece. There was no clearance issues. They match up just right, provide really good, nice, tight protection to you. They're quite easily to install. They operate on a glue-on mechanism. There's some products out there that are zip ties. This one glues on. It might sound a little bit weird. It might not sound very sturdy, but honestly, it works. Haven't had any problems with them shifting or moving around. Like I said earlier, they're sized just right. They install straight in there. So, great product, strongly recommended. On fitment, a couple words from my GranTurismo owners or folks who are running the factory Ducati Performance crash guards on their bike. Good news, you do not need to remove the crash guards to install the oil cooler guard. You might read some of that stuff online. You don't really have to. I actually figured out that you can just unscrew these 4 screws here and the corresponding screws on the other side of the bike, and the nose will dip down. You have to keep in mind that the mass airflow sensor is right here, so you have to unplug it as you're pushing this down so you don't rip that cord. But this nose will come down all the way down to the fender, give you plenty of space to install your oil cooler. Essentially, this whole assembly will pivot on this screw right here, which in order to get to effectively, you would have to remove these crash guards. So you can keep your crash guards on and install the oil cooler very easily. One thing that makes this easier is if you have these LEDs, there's 2 screws here. The front one is an adjustment screw. Unscrew that piece and dip them down. That will make the nose drop a lot easier. It will be much less interference. You'll have to stretch them just a little bit, but not much. So that makes the install really easy. Also, there are no clearance issues whatsoever here between the LEDs and the radiator guard, which is also very nice. If you want to make your install a little bit easier, what you do is you put these back on, but you adjust them all the way up, so this back fin kind of stays away from the radiator while installing it, and then you just readjust it back to normal afterwards. But it's quite an easy install. And the cylinder head protector is very easy. There's just 2 screws. I don't know if you can see right here on the bottom, pardon for the sideways picture, that you just mount it in, little Loctite, and you're all set. So AltRider product, great quality. I'm actually looking forward to adding their header guard and their water pump guard here on this bike very soon. But for the oil cooler guard, the radiator guard, and the cylinder head guard, big 2 thumbs up on all these products. They do really well. Oh, one more thing that's really well thought out is the shape of them. If you look at them from the front, they provide a lot of coverage and a lot of protection, so it might make you think that you're going to lose cooling capacity. But if you look from an angle, and sometimes you don't see it in the pictures on the websites, these things are actually flared out. So they will still flow lots of air, but they will give you great protection for debris flying in. So it's a great product, really well thought out, great quality. strongly recommend the AltRider products after this experience: the oil cooler guard, the radiator guard, and the head guard. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful.